Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Talent Show, where you will meet the people that bring humanity to business. All right, everyone. I hope that you have your celebration on because it is Pride Month. We have so many wonderful things to share with you today as we highlight the power of belonging and creating spaces where people feel they can bring their authentic selves to wherever they are. Because here we are rising with pride today, and we have a very special guest joining us again. Before we meet her, though, we'd love to meet you. So if you would drop in the chat where you're joining us from today, wherever you are in the world, we love meeting people. We love to have you share your voice with us here today as well. So you may remember last year we were celebrating Pride and we had Ervic with us. She leads our PRISM employee resource group, which is for the LGBTQIA plus community and our allies. And she does so many other things. She's going to tell us a little bit about it with our revenue generation side of the house here at TTEC, and has been here for 15 years. So she packs in a lot of great wisdom and advice, and I really loved the energy that she brought last year. So we're bringing her back. So please continue to drop where you're joining us from today. And Ervic, let's bring you on and get started with today's conversation as we rise together with pride.
Hi, Rebecca. It's nice to be back. Thank you for having me again.
Yes, absolutely. It wouldn't be Pride Month without you. So thank you so much for joining us here today. I'm loving on the background too. That's very fun.
Yeah, it's one of the backgrounds that we have in line with our theme for this year's Pride Month. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much. Oh, here, a huge shout out to Micaiah Anderson joining us from Texas and looking forward to this session. So, Micaiah, thanks for dropping by today. As we start our conversation, would you share with us a little bit more before we get started talking about the importance of visibility, representation, a little bit about marathons we're going to tackle here in a little bit too. Could you just start with sharing with us a little bit more about you and your 15-year journey here at TTEC and all those hats that I was sharing that you wear today as well?
Yeah, of course, of course. So as you mentioned earlier, I've been in TTEC collectively for around 15 years already, been to many roles. The time that we have for this talent show wouldn't be enough if I go through them one by one. But I've been around, been to many teams, many departments, many verticals, many business segments. So I would, it will be safe to say that I pack a lot of like learnings and experiences and skill sets throughout the roles, both in individual contributors and leadership roles that I've had over the years. And currently I am with our RevGen team. I support our global teams in RevGen, particularly on the strategies for our growth and go to market strategies and initiatives. So that's kind of like the main part of my role. But of course, I also support some of our other teams from a creative side, from a creative point of view, as well as some administrative tasks as well. Also, along with that, I am also the chairperson of our PRISM employee resource group, as what you mentioned earlier. So what we do here is, we give, we create spaces, initiatives, and activities for our LGBTQIA plus employees and our allies.
Just a few things, and then we're going to be talking about the marathons that you run. You run some marathons here at work, and then also in your personal life. So thank you so much for sharing that. And I know you're an active part of our Platinum Club recognition. You work with an amazing team around the globe. So shout out to the team that you work with as well. Aman is joining us from India, and Dora is joining us from Athens, Greece. Thank you so much again, from Texas to Greece to India. We love that you're all here to join us as we celebrate Pride Month. So one of the things that we talked about in our session before we jumped in here today was the importance of visibility. Could you share with us like one of those moments that you may have had in your career where you were like, I can do that. I see this person in this role, and that can be me too. Can you talk a little bit more about the importance of that with us?
Yeah, I've always believed in the importance of visibility because I'm a believer that, visibility is representation. And we just need, sometimes we just need that someone that we can visibly see, right? And so that we can somehow create and think of how we wanted to move forward with our careers, right? And that was the case for me many, many years ago. I was still, I think I was in our human capital team, our people and culture team at that time. And, whenever I passed by one of our teams in operations on the side, I would see, this someone that, is just guiding the teams, holding meetings, in the floor, teaching other leaders how to conduct business, how to coach people. And, that kind of like ignited the fire within me to say that, someday I wanted to also be a leader and be able to do what she was doing at that time. So from that point on, I can have this path in my mind and say, that's what I want to do.
That's well, first of all, I didn't know you were part of the people and culture team, so that was good to learn here today. And thank you so much for sharing those moments. We do have a lot of amazing people joining us from around the world too in the chat. From Mohammed from Pakistan is here, and Mo from the Philippines. So again, like you were saying, you want to be able to make an impact, make a difference, share your leadership. So we appreciate you joining us on the session here today to share some of those learnings with you. So how did that experience help shape you as a leader and your desire to create these kinds of spaces and moments for other people?
Yeah, because I from that point I realized that it's important that spaces or at least opportunities for people to see that there is growth and that growth is possible is something that I would like to somewhat like share. I treat it almost like a gift that was given to me. And what I told myself is once I am in a position wherein I would be able to influence some decisions or make some decisions or to, just basically lead people. That's what I'm going to be doing. I wanted to be not only like an inspiration. We know that that's a big part of it, but inspiration is just one thing, right? We need to create spaces for them to be, to be coached, to be trained, to be developed, and we need to like let them understand that the path to a certain role that they aspire to would require work, right? And it is within those spaces that we try to make them understand that it is possible, but of course we have to guide them and help them how to get there.
I love how you said that. It's a gift. We're all given certain gifts in our lives, and that opportunity to take that gift and pay it forward, wherever it may be, if it's in the workplace, if it's in our personal life, is so important. So I like how you kind of, not to make a gift analogy, but you kind of put a bow on that for us, which is great. And just wanted to say hi to Vinay joining us from India, and Todd joining us once again from Virginia, and is such a great part of our team here at TTEC. So thanks, Todd, for joining us here today. So one of the things as we rise with pride, we're talking about the importance of belonging. And belonging is about more than feeling included. It's really about feeling that your ideas, that you can share your ideas, that you can have your voice heard in the room. What are some of those ways that you think that what belonging means, and how we can all help to be more inclusive to help people feel like they belong?
Yeah, well, belonging for me is like what you mentioned. It's just it's beyond what we just I would say normally consider as like belonging, right? Especially in workplaces we're in, or in our workplace, it's always good to, well, number one, feel that you're safe, that you belong, right? But it's also a place wherein you're able to shine, right? And I am very fortunate that throughout the last 15 years that I've had, that I am in TTEC, I've had leaders who have given me that space to flourish, to shine, right? And I think the way that we would be able to do that is to create an environment of trust, right? Because when we do trust our people, or when we trust each other, that they can deliver the job well done, the job well, right? Or that we allow them to really perform at their best, then you know belonging almost comes in a little automatically, right? Because people feel safe, people feel empowered to perform, people are at their best. So I think that's one of the key things, how we truly make a belonging, the workplace a little more, with belonging.
Yeah. Thank you. And I think to a couple of our values around act as one, seek first to understand. I think that part that you're saying of kind of how do we intentionally create and belonging? It's not necessarily happening by accident. There's moments and ways that we're nurturing and fostering that. And a lot of it is in our value of seek to first to understand, and to make sure that we're all acting in alignment with each other as well. So I look to our values to help guide us with that, as well as our purpose of bringing humanity to business as well. So, as we switch gears real quick, we just want to go over to the audience, and we want to ask about a time where maybe a leader or a mentor helped you feel like that you belonged and that you were seen and supported. So please let us know as we kick it over to you in the audience, and share with us who might have been that person who helped share your ideas, shape your voice. We'd love to hear from you. So let's talk community, because a little bit of belonging is about the community that we're a part of and the allies that are part of that community. And one of the many hats you wear is about PRISM. So can you talk a little bit about how these employee resource groups that we have here at TTEC, and of course PRISM being one of them, help us grow as individuals and in the workplace?
Well, I think we are at a crucial time, we're in, belonging is of utmost importance, right? People need to feel safe, people need to feel empowered, and um, more than anything, people need to perform. But in order for them to do that, right, they need to have these tools that are available to them in order for them to be able to feel that way. And employee resource groups are one way, one of the tools that they have at their disposal, right? We do have many ERGs, in TTEC, um, and people, who identify with a certain, I would say, group of people that the ERG champions for, right, would be able to join. Actually, we even encourage that even if you don't belong to like the main core group of that people is championing for, and if you just wanted to be an ally, right, you are free to actually join. So it does not only create that feeling of belonging for that employee alone, but it's also building a sense of community for everyone, because even within our own spaces, like from one ERG to another, we can go ahead and also connect. If there are opportunities, if there are activities, there are some opportunities for us to collaborate on some activities or some initiatives, then we go ahead and do that. And naturally what happens after that is we go ahead and involve the people within our own communities, so to speak, and create a fuller sense of belonging, collaboration, and community.
I like that, a fuller sense of it. And I feel like, just going back to your gift analogy piece here, is that I feel like when you do become a part of these communities, like you said, you're helping to the other members of that ERG also to feel more connected as well. And especially, we're a global company, so it's a cool opportunity to meet people from around the world when you become a part of one of our employee resource groups. If you're here joining us today from TTEC, head to Mosaic and check out our employee resource groups, and also what's going on here for Pride Month as well. So as we get towards the end here, because we've got some exciting revenue generation jobs to talk about, actually, here in Tempe, we did want to ask a couple questions. 15 years here, obviously, have your fingers on a lot of different things, meeting a lot of different people from around the globe. What are a couple lessons we'd love to leave our audience with, some things for them to consider as they grow their own careers? What are some lessons you wish you maybe had learned a little earlier on in your career that we could help people now?
I would say that if you're passionate about something, you go ahead and like really go after it. Sometimes opportunities don't actually knock. Sometimes you have to chase them, or actually you even have to create them at times. Because for so I think what I've learned also, even in the recent few years, right? When COVID hit, and things are happening around the world, right? We need to keep our relevance, our significance, and our role and all that. And what I learned is that you need to be able to offer something, and you need to create opportunities for you to shine, because everyone is going to be busy, everyone's going to have something on their plate, right? But if you go ahead and show your value, create an opportunity for them to actually see what the value that you can bring, that's one of the things that can somewhat like help your, I would say, career, and your what do you call this? I'm a little bit lost for words right now.
That's
but,
okay.
but,
That's
but yeah,
okay.
I guess what I'm getting at is, yeah, just show your value, create that opportunity. If you don't see one, you go ahead and create it. You go ahead and have a conversation with your manager. You think, you have an idea, you put it on the table, you evaluate it together, you work on it together, and see where it could lead you. Because quite frankly, you know, my role was born out of an idea. So, those are things that we really have to keep in mind, that sometimes we don't see opportunities on paper. Like, of course, there will be job postings and all, but sometimes you might feel that you could not really connect well to an opening, or to an open role. Then you go ahead and create an opportunity. There's always a way for you to create an opportunity for you if you don't see one.
I like that. I like the thread that you're pulling through the conversation, which is the importance of putting in the work, the importance of being proactive, intentional with your career, also the importance of performance and execution in what you do as well. So I like that you're pulling through this thread of ownership, and where we all need to kind of step in and step up to the challenges at hand. And again, like you said, we've been through a crazy few years post COVID, and there's so many different ways that we can dig in and really share our value and our ideas, and who knows what door that will open. So I appreciate you sharing that. As we open this door, we might be running outside here. So just to say, tell us about this marathon. Last year, when we met, you were running your first. Now you're heading into another one. Is it like tomorrow, or when is your next marathon? Tell us
So it
about
is
it.
actually in about 23 hours. So the flag off time is going to be in 23 hours.
But who's
So, and
counting?
that will be my fourth since the last time we talked. So it will be my fourth one. So
Wow.
pretty interesting. A little scary. I mean, every time I set foot in on a marathon course, it's always scary because, I mean, who wouldn't be scared by 26 miles or 42 kilometers? It's a daunting course. But it makes me excited because it's that one thing that I always try to keep me grounded outside of what I do in TTEC. But of course, there are lessons to be had, that you of course can apply everywhere else.
I love it. Let's also layer in it's the rainy season in the Philippines
Mhm.
too,
Yeah,
so you're out there running in conditions,
yeah,
as well. So good luck
yeah.
tomorrow. We're all behind you and all the marathoners that are out there. We're so excited. As we wrap today's show, before we head over to our jobs, any lessons that you've learned from running that you think could apply in the workplace?
So I would say that, um, along your career, or along your, I would say, yeah, along your career, you will you will face hardships. Sometimes you're gonna feel like, you know, should I just give up? Or, you're gonna stumble a lot. There will be points wherein you feel like it's your breaking point already. But the lesson there is, to never give up. The we have this saying in a marathon wherein the actual marathon is the training and the actual marathon is just a celebration, and all that you need is to claim your medal or cross the finish line. So, just keep that in mind, that you've already done the work. You trust your training, trust whatever it is that you've already done. And when you're there, you go ahead and celebrate, live your life, enjoy the experience, and, cross the finish line and get that medal. So,
I like it. That's an awesome, positive, energetic way to end our conversation. I did want to say that we have an audience member saying good luck. I couldn't even run one marathon, let alone four. I am with that that LinkedIn user as well, and also Jamaica. I think this was the first time. Thank you, Natasha, for joining us here today. I think that's the first time we've had somebody from Jamaica. What a beautiful place to go run marathons there. Maybe that could be on your list for the future. So thank you so much for joining us again, helping us to rise with pride as well. And we've got a couple jobs that we'll share with everyone, and one is from your RevGen team. So thank you for being here with us today, and good luck tomorrow in 23 hours.
no problem. Thank you so much again for having me.
See you later. Okay, great. Well, as we wrap up today's session here with you, we wanted to share a couple of jobs. You can head over to ttechjobs.com. It's a great place to learn about what opportunities may be available in your area. Today, we're going to focus on a couple jobs here in the United States. Again, we've got jobs all around the world. So come and check out some of the opportunities, learn more about TTEC, about why it's important to us to have humanity first and belonging as a really important part of our organization and how we do business. Our sales representative role is for those here in Tempe, Arizona. It's a great opportunity to join a great place to work certified company, to bring your 1 to 3 years of sales experience and work with a really amazing team dedicated to this client's customers and helping them with their products. So the other opportunity that we have is for a bilingual healthcare customer service representative. We are looking for someone who speaks Spanish, and this is a great opportunity if you're in one of these states to bring your skills and help people with their healthcare as well. So if you know of anybody who is a bilingual Spanish speaker and is interested and qualified for this type of position, please let us know. our team's going to be dropping these 2 roles in the chat. And once again, these roles represent just a couple of the many that we may have around the world. So come check out TTEC Jobs. We appreciate you all joining us here today. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with us as we celebrate Pride Month and a culture of belonging. We also hope maybe this has inspired you to run whatever your version of a next marathon is, to put in the work and feel the excitement and rush of the accomplishment at the end. So whatever that may look like for you, we wish you the best, and we'll see you back here next time. Have a great day, everyone.